welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Angela, and today's video is going to be a review and makeup tutorial on how to get this eyeshadow look. I'm going to be reviewing some Sigma products, and one of them is going to be a palette that I used to do this specific eyeshadow look, and then I also have a brush kit from them that I use to do my foundation and my contouring and all that fun stuff. So if you want to see what I think of these products, definitely stick around. But before we get into the video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button because I do post new videos every single week and I don't want you guys to miss out. And then one more thing before we get into the review slash tutorial of this video, I do have a link and a code that you can use if you want to get 10% off some Sigma Beauty products if you decide you want to try them. So my link to the website and also my discount code that you can use will be linked in the description below. If you have any questions about that, let me know, but let's go ahead and get into this video. So the first Sigma product that we're going to be reviewing is the Warm Neutrals Volume 2 palette. These are what the colors look like. So they're very pretty. One thing I really like about them is that there's a lot of shimmers, but there's also a lot of mattes as well. So you can do quite a few different types of looks with this. So the first color that I'm going to go in with is this really pretty warm color called Toasty. And I'm just going to use this right in the crease of my eye to create that blending effect so that when I start adding in the darker colors, it blends much better. So we're just going to start on the crease of our eye, so where our eye creases when we open, and we're just going to go lightly. And keep in mind, guys, I did already prime my eyes, and I didn't use an actual eyeshadow primer. A good trick that I have learned that's really been helping my eyeshadow stay better is I actually went in and put a light amount of foundation on my eye, and then I went in with my concealer as well, and then I used my baking powder, my translucent baking powder, and baked on my eye for a couple of minutes. And doing this creates a good base for your eyeshadow so that it just comes out a lot more pigmented. So we're just going to keep adding on. And one thing that I've learned too, guys, I'm kind of updating you guys on the way I apply my eyeshadow because it's changed a lot because I've been practicing. That's helping it blend so much better, is not to have a heavy hand. If you have a heavy hand, it makes it easier for it to just kind of smudge and not do what you want it to do. So when you're doing blending, especially the crease, I have a very, very light hand because it's just helping it blend a lot better, if you guys can see that. So I'm just going to continue building this up in my crease until I am satisfied. Next, I'm going to go in with this really pretty brown color called Henna, and I did switch brushes. So I am using the Sigma Small Tapered Blending Brush. It's the E45 brush, and what I'm going to do before I just start going back and forth on my eyelid is first I'm going to lightly pack it on my lid, and that way I can get it placed where I want it to, and then I'm going to start blending up. And I found that this technique is way helpful in getting it to blend better and not look patchy on the eye. So I'm starting in the outer corner like this, and as you guys can see, I'm not like stroking with the brush yet. I am just patting and packing on the color on my lid where I want it first. And then we're going to do the same thing in the inner corner. And if you guys can see, I'm trying to leave that space in the middle for this really pretty green shimmer color. We pretty much have the color placed where we want it. Now what we're going to do, again, make sure you use a light hand. Don't press too hard or it's just going to get kind of smudgy and muddy, and we don't want that. And right where the color ends, we're not going to take it all the way up, and we're not going to start, blending down here, because then you're going to get a little bit of a patchy effect. You only want to start blending kind of up where the color starts to end so that you can blend it up into the first color, Toasty, that we used. So I'm kind of just going in circular motions and back and forth as well. I'm kind of just switching it up, and you just want to take your time blending, guys. I'm still not the best at it. It's taken a long time for me to improve, and it really just takes practice and patience. The longer you take to blend, the better your eyeshadow look is going to turn out. And don't worry about it not looking perfect in the beginning, guys. We're going to go and do a lot of cleanup later on, but it's pretty well blended on the top. So what I like to do after that is just kind of pack on a little bit more color in the inner and outer corners. Once we have the henna blended into Toasty like we want it to, I'm going to go back in with my bigger blending brush that I used to apply Toasty, and I'm just going to kind of go across the whole thing and just make sure that everything is well blended. And I'm not adding any extra shadow. I'm just using the leftover shadow from when we first applied toasty. And now that that is blended, what I'm gonna go and do is I'm gonna go in with a concealer. Any concealer is fine. I'm just using a drugstore one that I have on hand. And I am just going to apply it to my lid before we put on that green color so that it's a lot more pigmented. And I'm really just using a really cheap brush, flat brush to apply it. It doesn't have to be something super fancy and expensive. And we're going to apply this on the lid of our eye. And we're kind of gonna go up a tiny bit past the crease, but not too much. And I'm not going for like a super like sharp line cut crease. I am going for a more blended effect, as you guys can see on that side. I'm just kind of like slowly working my way up and like blending this concealer into the color henna. So see how I went slightly above the crease, but we're not going to take it all the way up or that'll look a little bit weird. The next color we're going to go in with is Fool's Gold, this really pretty like goldish green color. And the first way that I like to apply it is with my fingertip, and then I go in with a brush afterwards because I find that it's super, super pigmented when you use your finger. So I just kind of start tapping it on there where I applied the concealer. It doesn't have to be perfect right away. I just started using my finger to kind of get the base of it going, and now I'm just going to go in with another kind of like flat brush as well, but it's more of like on the fluffy side. It really doesn't matter as long as it does the job. And then I'm going to go in and continue to pat it onto my lid, and I'm not going to start, you know, blending it in until I have it placed where I want. And then once we've done that, I'm just gonna slightly, very lightly, kind of do a back and forth type motion on the upper crease, or right above the crease, I should say. Once we've done that, I'm gonna go back in with the original blending brush that I used to start out this look and go back into the first color that we used, which is Toasty. And I'm gonna go right above the crease line, so right here, right where the green ends, and again with a very, very light hand start to blend, just to make sure everything starts to blend all together. Next for this look, I'm gonna go in with a black eyeliner in my waterline, and then I'm also going to take it very lightly under my waterline, very lightly, because we're gonna smudge it out, so a tiny bit goes a long way. And then I'm just using a really small shadow brush to blend it out. Then I'm gonna go back in with the darker brown called Henna that we used initially and smoke that out. Liner is still something that I am not the best at, and it takes me a while. So take your time on this, guys, if you are the same as me. Lastly, to finish off the eyes, aside from the mascara, of course, is that I'm just gonna go in with some highlighter on my brow bone and in the inner corner of my eyes. So I went ahead and zoomed you guys out a little bit because we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of our face. And I already wiped away the fallout, and I did apply some primer to my face. So what I'm gonna do is the next product that I'm gonna be reviewing is the Sigma Dimensional Brush Set. And it comes with 4 different types of kabuki brushes, which we're going to be using to apply our makeup today and reviewing. So the first brush we're gonna use is the foundation brush, which is the 3D HD Max Kabuki Brush. And guys, I really like to take my time to blend here because I really, really hate that cakey feeling that foundation can sometimes give. So I really just take my time. So I really like this foundation brush. I feel like it applies really, really well. I don't see any streaks or anything on my face. Next, I'm going to use the 4D HD Kabuki brush to blend my concealer under my eye area. Next, I'm going to use the curved kabuki brush, the F83 brush, and this is to apply like blush or like contour, so that's what we're going to go ahead and do while our under eyes bakes, or while our under eyes bake, you know what I mean. I really like the way this kabuki brush is curved, because if you guys can see on camera, I don't know if you guys can see it as well, but it's just a really clean contour line, and I really like that. So this is how the blush came out, and I actually already went ahead and applied my mascara while I baked underneath my contour area. So to finish off this look, all we have to do is put our highlight and our lipstick, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And guys, this brush kit did come with a highlight brush, and I tried to use it, and I don't think it was the brush, but this particular highlight that I'm using is kind of like all messed up. it like broke, so it's really hard to apply with that specific brush just because it is really, really dense. And this one's just a little bit more feathery, so it picks it up more because I accidentally dropped this highlight and broke it. So that's why I'm just using my regular highlight brush for this. This is the finished look. So I really like the way everything came out. I have been using these products for a while. I've had them for a while. I just haven't had time to review them. But as you guys can probably, hopefully see, these are really good products. I really, really like the way my eyes came out. I feel like this eyeshadow doesn't move throughout the day. And I feel like with these brushes, you get like a really smooth, clean, beautiful look, and it doesn't look cakey or patchy. And that is something that's really hard for me to find, especially with my skin. At least I have really dry skin, so I feel like a lot of times when I do a full face of makeup, it's just really hard to get it to not look patchy because my skin is so dry. And I feel like these brushes just really help blend everything out effortlessly, and it's not, you know, a long process, if that makes sense. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. I really hope that you enjoyed this review and tutorial on how to get this really pretty glam green smoky eye look. And don't forget, if you do decide you want to try out some of these Sigma products, I do have a discount code for you guys in the description below. And as always, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!